We're here at a recording studio today with Trevor Best. And Trevor, this place is not just significant to you in terms of your career, but also very much in terms of a life that you've had to fight really hard to hold on to. Can you tell us a little bit about why this place is so significant and why it is that you've chosen to speak here today?
Well, firstly, I consider this place a second home, almost a first home, as well as a location that I've had a career for almost 34 years. It's kind of a safe place to me now. I know this place, I know the people, and I feel very comfortable when I'm here.
Okay, so let's go back to the very beginning of your story. You were supposed to have 2 routine appointments, 1-hour outpatient appointments on the same day. Can you just take us through what was supposed to happen at those appointments?
Well, at those appointments, I was supposed to have a Hickman line removed. And the second appointment would have been a follow-up appointment where I met with a consultant who would tell me how he felt the treatment went and what I should do over the next year to protect myself and look after myself. Also give me contact details of who to talk to should there be any issues.
Okay, but instead of leaving the hospital fit and ready for a new life, you actually ended up there as an inpatient for 8 months. Can you tell us a little bit about how those really simple appointments, that should have been simple appointments, how did they turn into such a nightmare?
Well, as you say, it should have been simple. I had a Hickman line put into me when I left King's College Hospital after successful HSCT treatment, and that was due to be removed. That was a basis on which I travelled back to the hospital to spend what should have been 2 hours. The nurse made a huge mistake and flushed the Hickman line contents into my bloods, and I came down with sepsis within 2 hours, and I became an inpatient from that point on. Then there was another issue, EBV, which caused the disability in me at the moment, and I was made to stay in hospital for 8-month period.
And tell us, what was that like for you, spending 8 months? That's an incredibly long time for you to be in hospital. How did that affect you physically, mentally, emotionally? Tell us about that.
Well, some of it I didn't recognise had affected me the way it had, because I became institutionalised. I was in a side room, meaning a bed for one, only me, nobody to talk to, nobody to interact with, and because I was made to stay in the bed, I didn't even realise that my legs had stopped working or partially stopped working, and my balance had gone. Going back into the world after 8 months, I didn't know how to do much. Simple things like shopping, interacting with people, jumping on a bus, you take it for granted when you have to run for a bus, but you realise what it means when you can't run anymore. So it was a real shock to me, and it's something that I'm still I am still trying to get over, the impacts of the time in hospital.
And the treatment that you'd had preceding this was intended to give you a new life, to halt your progression of multiple sclerosis, and you ended up with all of these issues instead. Now, this happened almost 10 years ago now. How has this very long battle with the NHS, with the system, how has that impacted your career here and your social life as well?
Well, the role that I used to play here, I've played a variety of roles at this place. So my role was more from the business side and composer management side. I used to run the studios here, and I really enjoyed it. And then I moved on to run the advertising area and the music for games area, 2 very important parts of this really successful business. Basically, I'm lost. I don't know what to do now, and as far as I know, there's no chance for me to climb any career ladder, whether it be here or elsewhere. Partially because the anxiety and the emotional impact it's had on me has left me not being the man I was.
I've known you for pretty much the whole of that 10-year period, because I think we met just as you were really having these issues and they were coming to the surface.
Yeah.
And I know that you've been trying to seek legal redress the whole time, but doors have kept closing again and again. Why is it so important for you now, after nearly 10 years, to keep fighting and to get the closure in this battle?
It's important because, you know, someone is responsible for what's happened. I have strong indications that the NHS are trying to shift the blame. Again, also suggests it happened before I went into hospital on that day, which absolutely is not true. So it's just justice, just honesty. You know, I want to feel confident in the NHS, which everybody should do. This has really left me shaken, and I would find it hard in future to trust certain departments within the NHS, because your day-to-day doctors and nurses, you know, you look at them and you consider them to be a type of person, but this issue is business, and the business and legal side is upstairs, nothing to do with the day-to-day running of the hospital. So, you know, I would not say that the day-to-day running of the hospital is a nightmare, although it could be looked at. I've got various reasons for saying that, but overall, people should just accept, you know, you need to feel that you're going to be looked after both mentally and emotionally, and if and when the NHS fail, and they will do on occasion, because hey, look at how many people they look after. But at that time, I would love to think that they would stand up and say, look, yes, it's our fault, we will resolve the issue. And if that was how I was approached in the first place, then I would be far happier. I've been left with a lot of upset, a lot of stress. You know, in trying to help a patient recover, the last thing you need is stress. And I'm afraid the NHS have not considered the stress levels that they've caused me for almost 10 years. I believe in doing what's right, and I will not be treated in that way, just as I would never treat somebody else in that way.
So now you finally found a barrister that specialises in medical negligence, and you feel that he's the right person to take this forward. Why is that? What is it that gives you the confidence in him at last?
Well, he's played that role, that barrister role in medical negligence for some time, a long time, as well as covering other areas. But he is very aware of medical negligence. He knows what to look for. He definitely has the right questions to ask me. I know he's asked me those questions, and he has the right contacts to look at my medical records and find the pit holes or the pitfalls, the holes in the responses that the NHS have given me thus far.
Taking the NHS to court, as we know, is notoriously expensive. So you have set up a GoFundMe in order to help you to raise the funds to meet these expenses. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Well, essentially, obviously, firstly, I've got to engage a barrister, but within that, the barrister's going to need access to a series of medical professionals to answer very in-depth questions, and also to find the holes in what is being suggested by the NHS. We will have all of my medical records, and each individual will have to pour through the area of expertise that they focus on.
It's a lot. So looking into the camera at people that could be watching this and thinking about donating, can you tell them what this would mean to you personally if they were to support you?
Well, I've been battling this for 10 years. And it has mentally and emotionally and physically taken the hell of a lot out of me. It will... Sorry.
Take your time.
It will reduce the stress that I have felt every day and every night whether it be consciously or subconsciously, even when I sleep. The first thing I think about in the morning is what's happened to me, and I'm reminded by the fact of the way that I have to do stuff myself independently. Standing up is an issue. Walking is a huge issue. Preparing my day is an issue. I've had to make changes, so many changes to my life, because I still want to be a part of this world. But at the same time, I have to accept that I'm not going to be a part of this world in the manner that I always have taken for granted. I'm not. I'm a very simple person. I don't need many things in my life. But health is a massive thing. I really focus on the health. I eat healthily. I used to play sports representing England. I used to go to the gym 5 days a week. I used to have a huge social group. And being social is such a big part of me, because for those of you that know me, I talk a hell of a lot. And despite what you guys might think, I think I'm actually quite funny. And yes. A lot of that has been taken away from me. I don't have the belief in myself, which is the biggest thing. To lose that, you face every day not being yourself, but then pretending to be happy to stop other people being worried and concerned about you. Because one of the things is, worry and concern is lovely when people worry and concern about me, but it's a reminder. What are you concerned about? I'm Trevor. I'm that funny guy. I'm the athletic guy. I'm that social person. I'm the person that's spent so many years here, my home, and slowly progressing, which I had to do because I'm not a musical person, and this place is a musical location, and I've always known that. I've always known that I won't grow as some other people have grown. The other people are so dear to me. They're dear friends. This company is a community of lovely people, and I just don't feel that I can give as much as I always wanted to and always have done for a period of 34 years.
So this is really, it's cut to the heart of who you were and who you are and how you see yourself, and you just really need closure. And 10 years is a very long time, isn't it, to be waiting for that? Wow.
I do need closure. I absolutely need closure. I'm not foolish enough to believe that it will make me walk again. It will make me the person that I was previously, historically. But this has had such a huge impact on me. And this impact will literally last all of my life, because I'll never be that guy that I thought I would be. I will never be travelling the way I thought I would. I will never be looking at opportunities in life as I thought I did. And yes, even socially, I don't feel the same person when I meet people, when I do stuff. I don't have, and it is subconscious, but I know it's ticking away the back of my brain. When I meet people, I know that I'm not the guy that I was. I've somehow found a way to be strong, but that is because of, as I mentioned earlier, the life I had as a child. So whilst that was terrible, I am gaining the benefit right now. But this is a horrible place to be for me, and it always will be.
So let's try and end on a positive, because you have been through so much. So this experience of almost dying, the disability, the years of struggle, all of these things. What is it that really keeps you going? What are the things in your life that really help you to hold on?
I think that I've always managed to be strong when facing adversity. And I'm a very determined person. And I really do believe in fairness, in justice, in honesty. And I expect people to accept responsibility if and when anything happens. And that is not solely to do with me and this terrible situation. It's to do with life in general. That has fueled me, because they have to acknowledge this. They have to say sorry. And on top of making the mistake that caused the issue, the fact that I've been going for 10 years fighting against these people who on the face of it are very decent and in truth part of the NHS are absolutely fantastic. Okay, but I'm not dealing in this situation. I'm not dealing with the day-to-day fantastic people. Okay, and they are doing anything to stop me from seeking a reasonable recompense. And I've never been a person that will be stopped. I will never be a person that will be stopped. But your funds will help me to employ the necessary individuals to get this looked into at the level that it needs to.
So this ultimately, it's a lot more than a legal battle for you. It's a question of dignity, accountability and closure. So if you are watching this and you can help Trevor in any way, you'll see a link on the screen. Please visit the GoFundMe and donate what you can to help Trevor to fight this battle that he's been in for the last 10 years. Is there anything else you'd like to say to anybody that's just donated to you today, Trevor?
Firstly, thank you so much. Even for watching this. It's taken up some of your time, I appreciate that. But literally, it has been 10 years, of which I spent 8 months in hospital. And then facing the NHS disguising purposefully is hurtful, really hurtful, that they would purposefully disguise the truth of what has happened. So thank you everybody and anybody, and the money will be spent in a manner that I will absolutely have a really good go at having this issue looked into, and hopefully it will make the NHS realise that they can't just take advantage of individuals, because GoFundMe is a fantastic service or support, and money does need to be made, and you can guarantee that I will be putting funds in for something like this.
Thank you very much, Trevor.